In today's program, we talk to Ada Yorka, Exoclick's head of publishing, about Google's new regulations and what they mean for both publishers and advertisers. We've got predictions about native advertising and the latest statistics for ad trackers. It's Thursday, the 25th of January, and you're watching The Additive, the show that brings you all things ad tech. Hello and welcome to the show. So the big news this week is all about Google's new restrictions that are incorporated into the launch of Chrome 64. Now this will limit the ad creatives that advertisers can use and also the ad formats that publishers can display on their sites. Now the rollout schedule comes in two phases. The 23rd of January, Google will start blocking what it considers abusive experiences, and on the 15th of February, Google will start enabling ad block on websites that don't meet the better ads standards. Now Exoclick has released two blog posts, one targeted at advertisers and the second at publishers, and we are offering advice on how to be compliant and also how to ensure that publishers don't lose revenues and that advertisers continue to convert their offers with Google within Google's new regulations. So check out exoclick.com/blog to get yourself all clued up. So today we're joined by Ada Yorka, Exoclick's head of publishing. Welcome back, Ada, to The Additive.
Thank you, a pleasure.
So Ada's actually one of the authors of one of the blog posts featured about Google's new regulations on Exoclick's blog. So we've invited her here to give us more about the lowdown of what this means for publishers and advertisers. So just to kick off, Ada, this is in two parts, isn't it? There's two types of reports. Google's done the abusive experience report. Perhaps you could explain that one first.
Yeah. Google Abusive Experience Report is affecting all publishers that are running misleading banners on their websites. By misleading, we mean anything that is confusing the user, anything that has fake close buttons, fake video players, fake logos, anything that the user, when clicking, thinks that they are going somewhere else that is not what they are actually being redirected.
So if a publisher is actually featuring these types of creatives on their websites, how will Google penalize them? What's the process?
Yeah, it's a very strong penalty, this one. Basically, Google is giving 3 chances to publishers to be compliant and don't show any misleading banners on their websites. After the 3rd alert, all their external links will be blocked, which means no advertising at all for 30 days.
So obviously they're going to lose revenues on Chrome basically because they can't generate ad revenues
at
on
least
there.
During 30 days till Google verifies again their site.
And if they don't verify it again, then
no ads.
No ads. Okay.
Running.
Okay, so it's big news. And what about the Google Ad Experience Report? What does that mean?
Yes, the difference with the other report basically is that this one, for now, is focusing on 2 regions: US and Canada, which is region A, and Europe and Russia, which is region B. So it's affecting these publishers with big audience in these regions running annoying formats. So no banners like the other one, like the other report. This is mainly focused on annoying ad formats that Google considers that are blocking the content, that don't allow users to read the article, to watch the video, etc. So the ad formats, the main ad formats that we think that are going to be penalized are like pop-ups, interstitial, flashy banners, banners with auto sound, and this kind of ads that are very annoying for the user. Okay,
and so how will publishers be penalized for this one?
Yes, for this kind of report, basically, Google will behave as an ad blocker with their own ad blocker, and they won't show these annoying ads, these annoying ad formats.
Okay. So I know on Exoclick's admin panel there's a labeling system for publishers to help them block certain types of ads. So I presume this has now been updated to become Google compliant. So
yes.
How does that actually work?
Yeah, exactly. Now we have 3 main labels in order to be fully Google compliant. The first one and the most important is misleading banners. All publishers should apply this label as it blocks. It makes us fully compliant with the Abusive Experience Report. Then we have 2 other labels, which is pop banners with auto sound and blinking elements. This one is compliance. These two are compliance with the ad experience report, which means the ad block. And all these publishers with big audience in region A and B, as mentioned before, should apply these two labels. So in order to be fully compliant, 3 labels need to be applied. If you have big audience from Asia, Africa, or Brazil, maybe you won't consider applying the 2 labels that we mentioned, such as auto sound and blinking banners.
But of course, that could change in the future with those regions excluded.
This is for now what Google is like instructing.
Okay. So as a publisher, I mean, what sort of ad formats would you recommend that they use now?
Yes, I think that now it's time to become like fully Google compliant and implement like new ad formats that are fully allowed within Google restrictions, which for us it's like in-stream pre-roll, it's the key, one of the key ad formats, and of course native advertising. Why? Because it's the only display banner that is fully compliant with Google regulations. Of course, we are working with new ad formats that we will launch soon in order to help our publishers to increase their revenues after all these regulations.
And the advertisers to convert their offers as well.
Yes, exactly.
So Exoclick's working hard to ensure that you continue to monetize your sites and convert your offers. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Ada, today.
Thank you, Giles.
And as I said, if you visit exoclick.com/blog, you can check out the latest blog articles there about Google's restrictions. And if you're an Exoclick client, of course, you can speak to your account manager or email help@exoclick.com for further information. So with Google's new restrictions, one ad format that we will see an upsurge in use by advertisers and publishers alike is the native ad format. Now this ties in with a new prediction from Business Insider. Now they're saying that they expect to see native display ad revenue to reach a record-breaking 74% of the total of all display ad revenue in the US by 2021. Now that's compared to 56% share in 2016. Now these numbers are not surprising considering the rapid pace at which native ads are spread over social media and programmatic advertising campaigns, and of course there's those new Google restrictions. Tracking pixels and scripts are often little understood, but they do serve as the lifeblood of many data-driven digital campaigns. But just how prevalent are these tools on the web? Well, Clicks and Ghostery have carried out a recent examination of more than 144 million web pages loaded in more than a dozen countries, and they discovered that 77.4% of all websites had at least one third-party tracker. Unsurprisingly, Google was the most prevalent employer of trackers. Trackers related to its Google Analytics service appeared on 46.4% of web pages examined, along with its other services such as DoubleClick and AdSense. Now, Facebook was the other big tracking enterprise, with its Facebook Connect service found on more than 1/5 of the pages. Even though tracking technologies do allow for both segment targeting and retargeting, the overuse of such marketing techniques does have the potential to backfire on advertisers, especially if audiences feel as though companies are gathering far too much data on them. And also in some cases, this is leading to the installation of ad blockers, which are gaining steam in the US. eMarketer estimates that a little more than 30% of US internet users will use an ad blocker in 2018, which is up from 15.7% in 2014. So, that wraps up the show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time.